Hello, good evening. Coming to you live from our studios here at the Broadcasting House. Welcome to News Hour. My name is Oforiwa Dako. In our first report, the Bunahafu Regional Minister, Mr. Kwekwe Sumatreme, has urged government workers who have fled Banda Ahinko due to a threat against non-indigenous workers in the area to return. He assured them that security personnel, chiefs and the Regional Coordinating Council have instituted measures to ensure their safety.
The alleged xenophobic attacks on the non-indigenous government workers in Banda Ahinkro started a couple of days ago. The region woke up to the news that non-indigenous government workers in Banda Ahinkro were fleeing the town due to the appearance of posters by a group calling itself Concerned Citizens of Banda Ahinkro, directing all non-indigenous government workers to leave the town since their safety cannot be guaranteed. The posters also alluded to recent xenophobic attacks in South Africa, saying that is how non-Banda indigents who fail to leave the town will be treated. Reports say many of the non-indigents did not take the warning lightly and have left the town while others remain indoors. The DISEC in Banda made a report to the RegSec, which followed up with a visit to the area led by its chairman and regional minister, Kweku Esuma Treme. The town was calm and peaceful when the team arrived. They then proceeded to the Kralongo Royal Palace to hold talks with the leadership of Banda Ahinkro and its people. The paramount chief of Banda Ahinkro, Usaberima Okocheredom Kwejosito, briefed the delegation on the true state of the Banda town, dismissing speculations that the area has become volatile.
Asem tia wa America ni say, yo, Bana. Say ya pam obi woni kuro mu a nka ya banafo me do say nka ya nya ba bi entena yo ya gi amanfo kuro Ghana ha nyina ye ho nka mo pam ya che ye ndi ya nya ba bi entena no ye na ye pam muhu a mo we kuro na ye nuanu ma wo mo wo amanfo kuro so okwa wanchi kuro fa wo mu fie no a ye koye no ye hihyi fie abata bata no ye na ye tweko. The
regional minister noted that the posters had really scared government workers due to similar occurrences in the past. The director, whose presence in the area was not welcomed, died under mysterious circumstances. He, however, urged the workers to return since the state and Ananum in the area can't guarantee their safety.
Enyina si bo mo nsam no a na e kire me se mo nso kura e hamopa se ye bo Banda din e wa abonten na sa asem wei e ne ye de abata ho na enya asem a e di mpuntu e bre Banda man tie nyina ye pe so hwe Regional Security Council na asumdwie mapa ebeba Banda man mu na omo a aban de omo aba hanom se omo mra meye adwuma no omo so anya hotoso bi se omo ne nananom na wo ha na omo ne nananom ye baako.
From the palace, the team headed to the Banda Ahinkro Health Center to assess the working mood and attendance. Upon arrival, it came to light that out of the 18 staff strength, only 3, a ward assistant, a laboratory technician and a laborer, were at post. One of the staff members present hinted that the nurses and medical assistants who form the lead staff are yet to return. Meanwhile, some schools, particularly government schools, remain closed, while some private schools managed to remain operational, but not with their full complement of staff at post.
The President, Nana Akufo-Addo, has left for Geneva, Switzerland to attend the 5th edition of the Africa CEO Forum. The forum will bring together CEOs of the largest African and international companies, political decision makers from more than 40 African countries, and investors on the continent. Whilst there, President Akufo-Addo will also hold meetings with the Executive Director of UNAIDS, Mr. Michael Sidibé, the Swiss Minister for Economic Affairs, Johann Schneider Amman, and with the Ghanaian community in Geneva. The president is expected back home on Thursday, March 23, 2017. We'll go to the central region where the vice president, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has expressed worry about the non-existence of assets registers that can help to identify abandoned projects at most of the ministries in the country. He said government has introduced the Ghana Assets Protection Project to see to the completion of all abandoned projects in the country. Dr. Bawumia was speaking at an anniversary of St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast.
The anniversary of the college was celebrated under the theme, Raising Ethical Leaders for Nation Building, the pivotal role of students. The college has over the years produced prominent people in the country. The headmaster of the school, Mr. Joseph Cornell, mentioned some successes chalked up by the school. He, however, mentioned some infrastructural challenges as a result of some projects that have been abandoned.
The construction of a wall to cover some boundaries of the school land would obviously reduce the number of intruders who invade our compound, thereby posing security risk to students and staff and their relations. Among the challenges facing the college is the dwindling number of non-teaching staff members in managing affairs in the college. We lose them mostly through retirement, and they are not replaced.
The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, said government would soon implement a unique property addressing system as part of the National Identification System this year.
We have to get into the realm of ICT, which allows us to do digital mapping and digital addressing. So Ghana has opted to adopt a digital addressing system, which with the help of all our Google Maps and so on, we are going to be able to identify every property uniquely. It is already pretty much on the way, and we are hoping that by the end of this year it will be done. But the task that we have really given to people who are working on this is we want this to start in July this year.
The 1992-year group of the school has renovated the school's biology, art and music blocks. Mr. Joel Boache is the General Secretary of the year group.
We hold the view that all students should, by way of giving back to the community, all students should support their alma mater financially, by way of advice, by way of goods and services, all in a bid to improve on educational standards in the country.
In the capital, a 5-year project designed to create economic opportunities for young people in the country has been introduced. The EADA project is under the auspices of the Opportunities Industrialization Center, OIC. The first batch of trainees have graduated in Accra.
EADA aims at creating economic opportunities for the underprivileged and disadvantaged youth of Ghana. When empowered, young men and women will be equipped with technical, constructional and vocational skills to start businesses of their own. The 800 trainees underwent a 6-month training conducted by organizations. The first EADA graduation was under the theme, Creating Economic Opportunities for Youth in the Construction Sector through Apprenticeship. The Secretary to the Executive Council of Ghana Real Estate Development Association, GRIDA, Mr. Samuel Amegaibo, congratulated the graduates for working hard. He encouraged them to apply their newly acquired skills in a manner that will attract entrepreneurs to create jobs.
You are going to face the realities of life. The job market, as you have all been hearing, unemployment, it gets scary when you hear all this information. But I have already told you that I beg to differ. If you come out and you stand out exceptional, wherever you are, you'll be sorted for.
The Executive Director of Opportunities Industrialization Center, Mr. Sam Deborah, said OIC seeks to contribute to human resource development through training in vocational and technical skills.
OIC Improved Apprenticeship is carried out with collaboration with master trainers. And master craftspersons are selected based on the equipment available at their workshops and the interest they have in providing training to the youths. Additionally, training is provided sequentially because training contents are developed and are followed by the masterclass persons.
The graduates are optimistic about the future, saying they are well trained to be able to take up opportunities which may come their way.
The St. John of God Hospital at Diayao in Kwanta in the Tano North District of Bunahafo has organized a fundraiser for the construction of a neonatal intensive care unit project. The move is to reduce neonatal deaths in the region.
The St. John of God Hospital, the main health facility in the Tano North District, is renowned for its specialization in orthopedics, prosthetics and physiotherapy. It is a referral center for such cases from all over Ghana and neighboring countries. But this time around, the focus of the facility is on improving care for newborn babies at its neonatal intensive care unit, NICU. The care given to babies between birth and the first few days after delivery is very crucial to their proper development. But currently, the NICU at the St. John of God Hospital leaves a lot to be desired, lacking adequate space and equipment, among others. Last year, out of 1,331 births at the facility, 151 were admitted to the current NICU, with 17 of them dying from neonatal complications. The deaths were not part of the babies referred to higher institutions. The hospital is raising funds to build 60-bed NICU and pediatric ward estimated to cost nearly 1.1 million Ghana cedis, an event that attracted people from all walks of life in the Diayao Kwanta area and beyond. The pediatrician at the Doma Presbyterian Hospital, Dr. Adoma Fuku, stressed why all must ensure that newly born babies live beyond their first birthday.
Things that germs, bacteria, infections that germs and bacteria bring makes the children sick. And you know, because they are newborns, their bodies are immature, the body soldiers are immature, so they can't fight these infections. They give up and then they die. I don't know whether any of you has ever tried before putting a piece of plaster on a newborn baby's skin. You realize that when you take the plaster off, part of the skin comes off as well, because the baby's skin is so fragile, so vulnerable.
Other speakers such as the Catholic Bishop of Goso, Most Reverend Peter Etuahene, and the Tano North District Director of Health Service, Kofi Ano, re-echoed calls for all to support the cause which seeks to end death at birth.
From the Bunahafo region, we'll go to the Ashanti region, where the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has advised people living in low-lying and flood-prone areas within the Kumasi metropolis to relocate ahead of this year's rain.
In recent years, rainfall in parts of the Ashanti region has caused damage to life and property. The news team visited some communities to assess their state of preparedness ahead of the rainy season. The first port of call was Ahinsai Abinchi, where River Susa, which separates Ahinsai and Atonsu, is located. The river breaks its banks whenever it rains, causing floods in communities along its banks. Currently, the river is heavily silted. The construction of a storm drain as part of the Asokwa Atonsu Agogo Road project could not be completed due to lack of funds. The news team also observed that portions of the road have caved in, posing danger to motorists. At the Ahinsai estate near the Good Shepherd Preparatory School, construction of the El Shaddai Baptist Church is sited in the way of the river. The people along the river have for years experienced flooding whenever the river overflows its banks. A resident, Mr. Kwabna Yepwa, blames the annual flooding on human activities.
A Baptist church.
The Baptist church here was built on a waterway, so this is affecting residents. Whenever it rains, the area gets flooded.
Anwomaso is another area that has been battling with flooding. culverts in this area are too narrow to contain the waters when it rains, hence the flooding in the area. Operators of businesses here say they are forced to close due to the flooding. At Esoyebwa, even though the narrow culvert constructed over River Abonsua has been replaced with a bridge, residents say the usual flood that occurs when it rains could only be addressed if storm drains are constructed to allow the free flow of water from uphill into the river. The airport roundabout is another flood-prone area. The roads from Menchia and the one leading to New Tafu become impassable whenever it rains. The operations officer at the Kumasi Metro office of the National Disaster Management Organization NADMO, Mr. Benjamin Opari, said even though the authorities, including the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, are instituting measures to address disasters associated with rainfall, it behoves on residents in flood-prone areas to relocate to safer grounds before the rains set in.
We will advise that those living along these areas should make sure that they don't dump objects that are going to block these drains, and then they should also make sure that if you know very well that your place is so low lying, definitely you will have to move, because one cannot tell when the rains will come in, whether daytime or at night.
The Metropolitan Engineer, Mr. Emmanuel Anderson, said plans to desilt drains and rivers in the metropolis will soon begin.
Siltation is as a result of human activities. If you remove the top cover or the greens from the system, definitely when it rains, the rainwater will carry the silt into some of these drains and make it heavily silted. So one of the things that we have started, in fact, next week we are going to CPC, that is a Menchia area, to start, desilting or dredging some of these drains.
You're still watching News Hour. We'll take a breather here. In sports this evening, we'll bring you some results of the 8th week matches of the Ghana Premier League played yesterday and today. Cape Coast Dwarfs 2, Adriana Stars 1, Elmina Sharks 1, Ashanti Gold 0, Bolga All Stars 2, Bechem United 1, Dansuman Liberty Professionals 0, Wa All Stars 0. Takwa Mediema 1, Olympics 1, and at the Accra Sports Stadium, Hasselfolk beat arch rivals Kumasi Asante Kotoko by a long goal through a sport kick. That's it for sports. In the arts segment, Benjamin Nketia is a young, talented Ghanaian high life musician. He said his love for music was raised from family lifestyle. Nketia was a guest on our showbiz segment.
They come to me for production mostly and writing, but they are not afraid that I'm going to steal their songs or do anything like that. My dad, when he wakes up in the morning and he'll be ironing, he'll be singing Bob Marley. Africa, unite! Africa, unite! 'Cause I'm moving right out of Babylon. I grew up
music
in a
is
house.
in the family.
Yeah.
Okay.
With music.
An Indian classical dance performance has been held at Kofodia in the Eastern region to symbolize 60 years of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Ghana. The performance, Matri, was held in Ghana for the first time to climax the Festival of India in Ghana. The festival had large patronage, including traditional leaders, political leaders, the clergy, head of institutions, students, and the general public.
The Indian word Maitri means friendship, and that is how the Indian community have named the Festival of India in Ghana to celebrate the friendship between the two countries, which is traceable to the first leaders of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and that of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. The two championed the political sovereignty of their countries as well as the non-aligned movement. The Festival of India was a mix of musical performances and Indian films. The Indian High Commissioner in Ghana said the festival is to deepen the various cultures of the two countries.
Our intention was to outreach, to reach the different regions, different parts of various countries, so that the people, they come to know about India here like in Coffee Dua. Maybe after today's performance, you would be much more appreciative of India's culture and our strong bonds of friendship.
The Eastern Regional Minister, Mr. Eric Kwachi Dafoe, said he looks forward to other exchanges to further strengthen the bond of friendship.
The weather report up on your screens. You've been watching News Hour on GBC24, your own news channel, and GTV. Talking Point is up next.